And yes, we are back. This is day 7 of the 15 days of Building Stability series. My name is Balkis Amzat, and I'm super excited to have every single person who is going to catch up live on this session and who is going to watch the replay. I am very excited. Whoops! Because we have gone through your mental space, we have gone through seeing your finances differently, and now it is time for you to do the work that brings about that money. And that is in the things that you have chosen as your career, as your job, as your business, whatever it is that you can think of. The next 3 sessions are for that. And today we are starting with those who might decide to start a job, who might decide to own a business, who might be confused between the importance of the two. Which should they do? In Nigeria today, I know that people say, oh, you have to do every single thing. You have to, have a business, have a job, and all. It is very possible that you might not be built for that. And that is why we have brought the careerpreneur to today's session. And I am very excited to tell you that my speaker is right here at the back end waiting for me to bring her on stage so she can fire everybody up and get everyone excited about today's session. So, guys, if you know you have a job, you are in school, you might be planning for a job, you might be planning for whatever. You might be planning for work in any way. I need you to sit in and sit tight and get ready for today's session. But before I do anything further, I am going to do us all the favor of reading the bio of the speaker so you can see that this is not just to something. This is something that has been done and she understands the assignment of being here today. So Favour Jesutomisin GODSWILL is a green career advisor helping young professionals and career changers explore sustainable careers and tech for good pathways through an entrepreneurial lens. With over 5 years of experience in digital marketing, communications, and program management, she is passionate about connecting people to opportunities that align with global development goals while creating personal impact and income. She is the founder of Career Camp, an influencer network, two youth-centered initiatives that spotlight and mentor individuals to pursue purpose. Favor currently leads brand development and programs at Newton Academy, where she manages the digital entrepreneurship program, and Newton NYSC Said initiatives. She also serves as executive assistant at EFICO and head of programs at Tech Africa, a nonprofit advancing digital and financial inclusion for women and girls in rural Africa. Her work sits at the intersection of sustainability, innovation, and economic empowerment, mobilizing the next generation of change makers. And guys, that is it. We have Favour Jesutomisin in the room, ready to help you move from where you are to where you need to be when it comes to your career. And I would love to see you invite your friends, your enemies, your whatever it is that you can think of. I need you to invite these people so that every single person can join us live. As much as you're going to have access to the replay, you also need to be here to get the first-hand information while being able to ask your burning questions. But whichever way, I am going to bring on Favour. And with that, Favour, good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening,
Evening.
Bakis.
How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you so much once again for this opportunity.
Thank you
I
so
am
much for
beyond
showing up.
excited about that.
Yes, thank you so much for showing up too. And I'm very excited also that you are here, that you have decided to be here. Thank you so very much. Okay, your slide is up. and you can start the conversation. I'm going to take myself off for now. So if you need me, just tell me when I need to change the slides and we are good to go.
All right. Thank you so much, Balkis, once
You're
again.
welcome.
Good evening, everyone. If you can hear me loud and clear, I know you're watching from the front end, that's on YouTube, but I'm so delighted to be in your midst this evening. I appreciate the brain behind Personal Stability series. She's been doing pretty awesome things, and I'm always honored every single time she brings me on this platform. Thanks to Kata, our executive assistant, wherever you are, just know I love you. And welcome everyone for making out the time to be here. Welcome everyone for deeming this important to your personal development to decide to show up here today. So I have been faced with the task of talking about your career clarity, from confused to clear. Now, at different stages of our lives, at different stages of our career, we've all had that moment where you're wondering, what do I do in my life? You've asked yourself that question countless times. I really wish I could see the comments in the chat section so that I can engage with you guys more. But I want to believe that we would have a great time here. So the first activity I would like us to do, I want you to ruminate, think back how many years you can. When you were a child, what was that one thing you were so confident that you were going to become? Like at this stage of your life, what were you thinking you were going to become when you were still 5, 6, 8, 10, 15? Has it evolved over time? Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds to think about that. Now, the basic thing I want to establish today in this session is the fact that career clarity is not linear. When I mean linear, it is not a straightforward path all the time. It is possible that there are people who decide to be one thing and then they follow through until they achieve that thing. But for some people, it takes a phase. It takes you trying different things. It takes you spending several years doing one thing, then switching to another capacity that you know that you embody. So accept the fact today that career clarity is not always a linear path. It can be a maze. And believe you me, it is something that you'll be happy to uncover. It's like an adventure on its own. Because when you're talking about career, you're talking about a long-term thing. Career is not like school that you spend how many years, let's say 10, 12, 15 years doing, and then after that you're done. No, career is something that you want to dedicate the rest of your life to doing, not just for income, because that is always the mindset that we were trained with, that when you have a career, it is for you to be able to make money. But because it is a sign, it is a stepping stone, it is a pointer to your purpose. It is a platform where which you're supposed to make impact in the life of others. It is a platform where you're supposed to solve people's problems. It is the platform where you're supposed to show that innate ability that God has placed in you to be a blessing to the world. I don't know if you're following me. So this talk of confused to clear and the strategies to uncovering the career path you're supposed to follow over time, it all boils down to accepting the fact that it is an adventure and then enjoying yourself in the process of uncovering the treasures that are deep inside you. Are we together? Thank you very much. So, why do I call myself a green careers advisor? Let me start from there. Now, the basic story that I have is such that I would say my background is entrenched in wanting to be visible, wanting people to see what I can do, be blessed by it, appreciate basic factor. Are we together? So becoming a green careers advisor, it is one stage that I've gotten to in my career path where I have found that one thing that has been the answer to the questions and all the phases I've been through several years. It got to a point where my experience uncovering my own career clarity led me to decide that I'm going to help others on this journey of uncovering theirs. And I decided, what are the 3 factors that I want to infuse into helping others uncover this? One of it was SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. There's 17 in number. If you've not heard of them, you can go check them out. The next thing was tech. Tech for me was an important factor because tech gave me a tool. It gave me, I call it like a microphone placed in the hand of one insignificant lady somewhere and gave her a voice to the world. So I want you to see tech as that tool placed in your hand that gives you the opportunity to lend your voice to the world. And then the third thing that was important for me, or that formed the synergy of what I wanted people to understand about finding their career path, is entrepreneurship. If you approach things in your life from an entrepreneurship standpoint, and when I say entrepreneurship, it is not just to make money, it is about solving problems. When you take your career, when you take your life as a platform to solve the problems of people, then you have just begun the process of having a very fulfilling career. I don't know if you're following me. So those 3 factors, the SDGs, technology, and entrepreneurship, I saw in my recent research, in my recent discovery, and attempt to develop myself. I saw that all of those 3 formed a synergy under green careers. Now, when you talk about green, you talk about sustainability, things that help the planet and people on the planet do well and live long after them without causing consequences that we have to be solving now. For example, you hear about climate change and all that. So green careers are actually careers that ensure that people are prospering in the planet, people ensuring that the planet does well. Climate change is not affecting, or the adverse effect of climate change is being reduced in the welfare of humans. So that's the whole idea of green careers. But it is not the crux of what I want to talk about today. So I would say, I just want you to understand the foundation for every of the perspectives that I'm going to be bringing in here today. All right, so let's move over to my first slide where I want to share my story. Mrs. Balkis, can we move on to the next slide? Thank you so much. So my career journey began at my mom's school. I think around 2013, my mom started a school. She had been a teacher for a couple of years, and then she decided to launch out on her own. As at that time, I was in SS2, about to enter SS3. So there were times where I had to assist. You know, during that long vacation was when she started. So I didn't go to school for the long vac, the summer break lesson. I was in the school helping her start up. And within that period, I began to discover that as much as I had already told myself before that I didn't want to become a teacher or have anything to do with teaching, I realized that this was a platform that I was being of help to people who really needed help. The children that were coming were children who had been through different phases of their education or were just even starting and needed to be set right from some of the dysfunction that they had experienced in the education system. For example, you find a child of a particular age who should have a particular capacity, such as reading, spelling, finding difficulties in those kind of things. So I fell into that role of trying to help children at whatever stage that they find themselves be able to read, be able to write, be able to spell, be able to be confident in themselves. And so that set me on the path of purpose, because I saw that as much as I would tell myself I did not like this role, I had to come into the situation of solving people's problem. And for me, that gave me a sense of purpose. I decided that I was going to make the best use of this opportunity to help these children achieve the goal for which they've been set in my care. So that has been one of the driving forces that has brought me to where I am today. And so from that point, when I finished secondary school and I got admission to study mass communication, primarily I wanted to study theater. Like I told you, I loved visibility. So I wanted to study theater arts and I ended up studying mass communication based on advice. And I realized that three things interested me about mass communication. Number one was educational broadcasting. I had been in the education industry and I saw that there was something like educational broadcasting which could help me further solve the problem of people that I had once been in the environment to help. Are you getting me? So I'm trying to show you how I unraveled different seasons of my life to get to the phase where I am today. And then another thing that also interested me was advertising and public relations. I also discovered one more thing, media psychology. I saw that I personally had been at some stage of my life affected by the effects of the media, and I saw the media as a way to actually reconstruct the mind of people. The media is a powerful tool. It can tell you how to think. So I saw that becoming or having knowledge of media psychology could help me condition the mind of people correctly if I use this tool properly. And so from that stage, I graduated into pursuing. Okay, I'm skipping one thing. When it got to my third year, I was now looking at all the things that I had planned to do in school. I was seeing, I had a particular roommate who always sought opportunities and showed herself. She was a female drummer, and so she was always going out for competition and all that. And I was like, what is it that I've done in this school? And so I decided that I wanted to do something that I had interest in, which was fitness. At that point in my career and in my life, I was interested in fitness. And then I decided to collaborate with someone whom during my IT in a broadcasting station was running a fitness program on TV. And so in my fourth year, we organized a fitness program in school. It was one of the biggest that had ever been experienced in the history of Uniben, even till today. And so from that stage, I began to find purpose in collaborating with people and executing projects that could help people's life. And so from that point, I was like, okay, what next after school? And then I was looking forward to, everybody had Vision 2020 in their mind, globally and all of that. And then I realized that everybody enter your house. So that phase was now a stage where I had to lock in and begin to build some of the skills that I felt I had. We started a family business, and I saw, okay, since I had skills in writing, why don't I use my writing skills to sell my parents' businesses? And I began to build my skills in business communication, in advertising, in public relations, in copywriting. And so in 2022, when I had to go for my service year, I, at that time now, took a step further to enter into, what would I call it, the online space. That was when I properly broke into the online space and began to build my skills in personal branding, getting more visible. Within that period, I got to volunteer to work with an HR firm that works strictly with corporates, helping them transition into the world of work. And so with all of that experience, I wanted to also help the children that I was dealing with in my PPA get better at their literacy skills. So at some point, I would call myself a copywriting and advertising and public relations person. And then at some point, I would call myself a literacy advocate. And so I grew from that, calling myself a personal branding strategist, to helping people optimizing their LinkedIn handles, growing into the stage of now helping them to brand their careers online. Because I saw that with the skills that I had learned, even from my school days and then going further to develop myself in digital skills, I could create a stream of income. So that was how this idea of career entrepreneurship came about, creating a stream of income from the career path that you have set for yourself. I don't know if anyone is following me. And so here I am today, after discovering um, how much of the skills that I've been able to grow and synergize. What would I call it? There was a research I was conducting one day. I was reading through I was taking a particular course, and it was about you and the future of work. And so I discovered that this idea of climate justice, where the Americans were producing, like they were the ones polluting the earth, but Africans were suffering. And then they said the reason why we need green careers, the reason why we need more people to come into careers that are sustainable, is because if we don't do anything, or if we don't build the kind of jobs that help to reduce the effect of climate injustice in Africa, the generation after us will continue or even suffer worse than we have suffered. So this is like this is a summary of how I went from being unsure as to what next after my school days into exploring all of the different facets, different opportunities that I have, from volunteering to gaining certifications to even my work, my corporate experience period, that has led me to where I am today, finding clarity in what I am doing. Ms. Valkis, can we move to the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay, I'm waiting for the next slide. Thank you so much. So why is it that people feel confused? Why is it that people feel confused when it comes to their career? One of the major reasons is that you have too many choices. For example, I asked a question when we started. What was it I wanted to become when you were younger? Let's say, for example, you wanted to become a doctor, and then you got to a particular stage of your life, probably in your SS period, your best friend wanted to do something different from what you wanted to do, and then probably decide to switch, or probably your parents were proposing something else. And so those kind of situations where you're faced with making a decision between different choices. Another set of people that have that kind of problem is people like me. We have different potentials. I can sing, I can dance, I can write, I can speak, I can do a lot of things. So which of these do I lean into to build a career? So that is one thing that can make you confused when it comes to making decisions in your career. Are we following? So another thing that can lead to confusion when it comes to career. Please, Ms. Valkis, can you spare me some minutes? I want to adjust. No. I want to adjust my view so that I can see more clearly. Thank you. All right. Okay, please, pardon me. If you can still hear me, let's roll without my camera being on. The next thing that causes confusion is societal or family pressure. This one is very For example, there might be a trend in the family where certain careers persist. So you might be forced to want to follow the particular career that your family is proposing. And one thing I want you to also get understanding on, if your parents are proposing something, it is because they care about you. Not all parents are sadists. Not all parents are sadists. So if they're proposing something, it is definitely because they care about your security. So that is one thing that can lead to confusion, because you have what you're interested in doing, and then your parents are proposing you do something else. I know the story of someone who his parents were proposing that he studies medicine, and then he went ahead to study the medicine. After studying medicine, he, and then he went back to school to now take a 4 years accounting course, because that is what he really wanted to do. So that can actually be a problem for a handful of people. And then another thing is the fear of making wrong choices. You're faced with too many choices, you do not have enough direction, and then you now have the problem of you're scared to make a mistake. So that can be a reason for being confused. And then the final thing is low self-awareness or lack of awareness at all. Like some people are not self-aware. Some people are not self-aware, or they have low level of that. So that can be one of the challenges that leads to confusion when it comes to making career choices. Are we still together? So from all this that I've said, I just wanted to establish that you're not lost. One of the problems can just be a problem of information, and that is why we are here today. Please, can we go to the next slide? Thank you. All right, thank you very much. So, career clarity comes from self-discovery. This is another thing that I want everybody to accept. It is as clear as it looks. Let me just say it that way. Now, one of the things that can help you find clarity when it comes to defining your career path, one of the most, what I call it, important strategies, I mean, is self-awareness, is self-discovery. And one tool that I can propose to you for becoming self-aware is a personality test. Understanding how do you exude energy. That's when some people tend to tell you they are introverts or extroverts. And then understanding how do you make decisions, how do you respond to certain situations, how do you act under pressure, how do you view life. So these are some of the questions that help you establish what your personality traits are, and why is your personality important when it comes to your career. It is said that there are certain careers that are befitting to certain types of people. For example, let's say you're a customer relations person and you do not like to, for example, a customer relations person who is an introvert. Now, it's not like there are not people in that situation who have learned to perform in that role, even with that personality. But what I'm trying to say is somebody who has a difficulty relating with people, coming or introducing himself, interacting with people in public, and then you put him in a role where he has to interact with people every single time. How do you expect him to perform in that role? So it's important that you understand certain traits about your personality to help you in making decisions about the kind of career that you want to delve into. Are we following? Then another thing that has helped me personally is journaling. there were certain ages in my life where I wrote what I wanted to become. For example, I think I was about 13, between 13 and 15, when I wrote what I wanted to study in my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, the skills that I had and what I wanted to do with them. And what I realized was sometimes when I get to find those books years after, I realized that even without making intentional or extra efforts, my life aligned with achieving all of those goals. For example, there was lockdown. I got a call from a family friend to bake a cake. There were times in church where they had done skill acquisition for some of us that were young back then, and I had learned something about cake baking. So when the opportunity presented itself, I had forgotten 1,000,001 things I was taught about baking. Believe you me, my cake came out sweet, but it has started turning back the very next. It has started turning bad the very next day. So I decided at that point that okay, why don't I go ahead to now studying catering properly, baking properly. And so it was such that at that point in my life aligned with something that I had said years ago I was going to do. It was a skill I was going to develop. So ensure that whenever you have the idea to do something, you put it down in writing. You would come back to it years later and be proud at how much progress you have made in your life. Take, for example, this career camp that I am doing now. It was in my final year in the university that I got the idea to have something like that. And it didn't even start with the way it is right now. It started like I should organize a competition for secondary school students to write an essay about what is their global impact stream. And then I would have a conference where I would teach them about how to navigate. Even at that time, I had not even been so clear about what I wanted to do with my own life. But I had that idea. And though if I had gotten the opportunity to share the idea with someone who was already in the industry, I would have executed. But I am happy that that idea took years, 2019 to 2025. It has now solidified into something that was more concrete. Do you understand? It now encompasses a lot more. And I have begun executing career camp actually since 2023. But in 2025, it's becoming what it really should be. And I believe it will get better. So this is how journaling helps you. Writing down ideas, like the way goal setting happens, where you write down what you want to do within the next 2, 3, 5 years. So that can be a very good tool for you. Then asking others what you're good at. I might have not done this much, but I realized that when I receive feedback about things that I am good at, for example, the decision to study mass communication was actually feedback from people. Do you understand? So that could be a tool for you to discover more about yourself and your personality. Then another thing I will advise you, please, I beg you in the name of God, if there is another thing you should leave this session with, it is one thing: live in the clarity of the moment. It is one thing that has helped me over the years. The fear of what am I doing with my life? Where do I want to be in the next 5 years? How do I achieve? Please, the one that you are sure of now. I talked about fear of making wrong choices. And that is one thing that I've had a difficulty with. There are some things that I've had ideas about doing, but I did not execute because I was like, I don't want to do something that it now turns out that God does not want me to do this thing. Do you understand me? But I realized that when I did the things that I was sure about, that I had the slightest idea about, because clarity is in the doing. That is one thing I want you to know. So when you have an idea about something, the fact that you have an idea means you have a slight as little as it is an ability to get something done. Do you understand? So what it is that you understand at that point in your life, please work with it. If you have to speak to someone, there are times that I've come to Miss Balkis that this is the idea that I have. How do you think I should pursue it? And then from discussing with her, it tends to expand and I tend to gain clarity about how to execute that particular thing. So it is important that what you have an idea about today, what you are sure of today, the skill that you have today. For example, in 2022, 2023, I was sure of the fact that I could help people learn how to read and write within a time span because I had spent close to how many years? From 2013, when my mommy's school started. Every time we went on holiday, I would do the same thing that I knew how to do best. And I saw that from that time up till 2022, 2020, I had record of helping people go from zero to becoming very wonderful at their reading, their spelling, their speaking and writing capacity. So I was beginning to build a niche around literacy, advocacy, helping people get better at all of those skills that I mentioned. So that for me was living in the clarity of the moment. Are we following? So another thing is, do not be in a hurry to find a niche. When I started, I never had an idea that today what I will be doing will be green career advisory. I never knew I would be in career branding today. Do you understand? When I came online, the first skill I actually learned was graphics design. Not like I wanted to, but I just wanted to, like, I was seeing opportunities to learn. And because at that moment it piqued my interest, I went for it. And then, though I was at some point saying, okay, I was good at birthday design, so I was beginning to need, but at some point, copywriting came along, and I saw, okay, I had a skill in this, why don't I do this? And then I graduated into personal branding, teaching people about personal branding. And then I graduated into teaching people about career entrepreneurship. So don't be so quick to say you want to focus on this thing from now to forever. You will deprive yourself the joy of developing several aspects of your life. Let people say you are jack of all trade. Let people say you are this, you are that. But enjoy the phase of trying different aspects of your life. Okay, let me even bring you home to something that happened so recently. There was an opportunity in my church to join a dance group. In my church, I am in the choir, I am in the IT units, specifically when it comes to social media, content creation. I am in that unit. I am in the drama unit. And so, because I loved dancing, not like I am a pro, but when it comes to moving my body, I know a few things. I decided to go for that opportunity. But I was hesitating because I'm like, what will people say? You are in this, you are in that. But in the long run, I still went ahead to do it. Because for me, what I wanted to do was develop that skill so that I will not look back years later and wish I had the opportunity to actually do that thing. You know, one beauty about being a child is you do not have confines to you are free to do several things without being. So the beauty of being young is that you get to do a lot of things when you are still young, experiment different aspects of your life. Just live your life so that when it comes to later, you are not regretting anything. Are we together? So please don't be in a hurry to find a niche. Try as many different things as possible. An advice that I might want to give is, don't try to do too many things at the same time, but you can keep yourself occupied with as many as are related. Do you understand me? I don't want you to get overwhelmed with trying to do many things at the same time, but As many as are related, as many that you can cope with, as many as your power can carry. Ensure that you align this. Just ensure that all of these things have a connection to each other. For example, there are several skills that you need to perform in a certain role. For example, graphics design, video editing, blah, 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 content creation. Those kind of skills are related. Do you understand it? And you can employ it in a particular field that you find yourself. So ensure that you are not overwhelmed. You can do different related things, but ensure that you are not overwhelmed. At the same time, do not be in a hurry to find a niche. Ensure that you explore as many different aspects of your capacities as possible. And then the next thing on my list is reflect on moments when you felt most like yourself. When, like, think back to those days where what you did gave you so much joy. You really felt like, yes, this is me. You found fulfillment in this thing. For example, speaking with rural women, teaching them about how to use digital tools, like opportunities that made me relate with underserved people, gave me a sense of fulfillment. So that for me was another phase of clarity in my career. Then another thing, don't give up. You are on a journey. So the journey of self-discovery, the journey of clarity is one where you have to just continue, explore, enjoy while you are at it. Okay, please, can we go to the next slide? Thank you so much. I realize that I have less than 10 minutes to round up my section. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. 7 signposts to your assignment. Now, career for me is I call it a pointer to purpose. I call it for me, career for me is purpose. Let me just, like, I want to spend the rest of my life in a career that helps me do what God wants me to do. In a career that helps me reach out to the people that God wants me to reach. I don't know if you're getting the picture. So there are several ways where you can find that one thing or series of things that your life, your capacity, your talents, your gifting, the opportunities that you find yourself in, what it all points to. Number one you have here is your assignment is any problem you were created to solve. So if you are having an issue finding that career that you should follow, creating a career path for yourself, if you're finding that you are not clear about what you should be doing at a particular time, what is that problem that you find that you can solve? That might be a pointer to the clarity that you're seeking in your career. What you love is a clue to the gifts and wisdom that you contain. For example, I enjoy writing, I enjoy speaking. So some of these things, you know, there are some things that I've realized that I did not necessarily learn how to do these things, but God has gifted me with the capacity to be able to communicate the clarity that I have to others. So I enjoy doing this thing, and it has become the crux of the assignments, the career that I've decided to follow. Then another thing is what you hate can also, so for some people, they hate injustice. They hate what other things can I highlight? Maybe let's say, for example, they hate dirt. They hate the fact that their environment is polluted, or they hate the fact that people die from not being attended to when there's accidents. Maybe, for example, they had an experience that pointed to this thing, and it really sent them into a fit of rage. So for some people, what they ate can be a clue for them to find clarity in the particular career that they should follow. So their career is tied to them correcting that thing, that situation that they hate. Number 4, what grieves you is a clue to something you are assigned to heal. For example, you see those people that are mental health advocates. I think it was on day 2 where you spoke about mental wellness. It is experiences and the journey to healing that led some people in helping others find what they have already found. So for you, what might point you to the clarity you're seeking in your career is what grieves you. Then another thing, if you rebel against your assignment, God may permit painful experience to correct you. For example, I thought about the fact that at some point, I delayed doing some things because I was scared that what if God doesn't want me to do these things? And then I will have to go through the process of now finding my way back to what God actually wants me to do. But for those that maybe you saw it in a dream by some divine appointment, or someone tells you that this is okay. Now, very good example, very, very good example. My mom, when she wanted to write JAMB to gain admission into the university, she was having dreams and she got clarity about the fact that she should be in education. But what she wanted to do was pharmacy. She always shares the story with us. And then she will write JAMB, she will put pharmacy. When her result comes out, you see that her result she doesn't see her results, or she fails woefully. And then she went through that experience for 7 good years. I think she said she got admission into the university at the age of 20. Like, she said she had to go back to secondary school and started to study commercial courses. And then she now wrote JAMB for business education. So that is a typical example of you rebelling against when you have gained clarity on something that you should do, and then you decided to do something else. For her, it was a divine assignment. So there are people here today that you might have had some divine calling about certain things. You were clear, you were sure about something that you were supposed to have done. But because of your own desire, so there might be painful experiences or situations that might finally connect you into the career that you are supposed to follow. So that might be the case for some people. Then another thing, your assignment will require seasons of preparation. Please do not neglect the days of preparation. For example, there are people that say they want to serve in NNPC, they want to serve in Senate House, and then you find that within that period they are so overwhelmed with a lot of things that they might actually, because they are money driven, or for some people, let's say maybe they are purpose driven, that's what they wanted, or opportunity driven. Do you understand? Because they want to place themselves in a better position. But for some people, that service period where they post you to one village at the ends of the earth might actually be God trying to lock you in to build and develop yourself. For example, you might be going through a period where there is no employment, you're still looking for a job. Help you discover your assignment. So please do not neglect the days of preparation. Then another thing is, you will only succeed is passion. So what you become passionate about can actually lead to you becoming successful. So the clarity that you have found, ensure that it becomes a thing that you want to wake up and get out every day to accomplish. I hope we're together on this. So according to Mike Murdoch, the book I might probably have been shared with you, I would like you to read it. It will help you when it comes to strategies, tools, and pointers to you finding career clarity. Please, can I get the next slide? We are getting closer to rounding up here. Thank you very much. Now, this is a call for you. Explore without pressure. I've said it's times without number in different ways. Your career clarity might not be a linear path. So be open to trying new things. Intern, for example, how did I get into the corporate world and have to work with two different edtech startups within 2 years, or would I call it 3 years, from finishing my NYC? It's because I offered to intern. Most of the opportunities that I've gotten, it is because of offering to intern or volunteering. Do you understand me? Volunteering, internship exposes you to a lot of opportunities and people. It helps you build credibility too when you try to be visible about the things that you're doing with the opportunities that you find yourself in. Then interact with other people in the roles that you admire. This has been one of the things that has also helped me. For example, God blessed me with a boss who is doing exactly what I want to be doing. And working with him and learning by observation has helped me build my capacity in what I am currently doing today. Focus on learning, not arriving. A lot of us want, like, the euphoria of becoming, of letting people see you as somebody that has gotten them, might blind you to a very important stage in finding career clarity. So please ensure that in every opportunity that you find yourself, you are learning. You are learning. You're constantly developing yourself. It is from constant development, taking new courses, pursuing new opportunities, fellowships, program, that I got to the point of deciding, oh, so there is such a thing as green careers. And it sums up all of the things that I have been doing here and there, the idea that I've been trying to communicate all these years with Career Camp. Do you get my point? So please explore without pressure. All right, my next slide. I think we're close to the last. My time is up here, but I am very, very close to rounding up. Next slide, please. Thank you so much. All right, the 3A framework. At whatever point you are in your career, I told you, live in the clarity of the moment. Assess where I am now. Where am I now in my career? What am I doing? Like, what do I currently think I can do now? In what situation am I currently in? What are the people that are around me? So assess where you are now. How do I think I currently act most of the time? How is my relationship with people? So assess where you are now, then align with the gifts, the values, the skills that you find that you can currently work with, you can currently run with. And then also ask yourself, what small step can I take today? What small step can I take today that will lead me into the next thing that I want to be doing, or that will help me achieve that particular thing that I have set to achieve? So this is the 3A framework when it comes to finding career clarity. All right, I think I'm close to my last slide. Next slide, please. All right, so the sum total of all that I have said here today is: number one, clarity comes through curiosity. Clarity comes through exploration. Clarity comes through giving yourself breathing space to just do what you understand, do what you know how to do best, learn how to do better, maximize opportunities that you find yourself in. Keep asking, keep exploring, and keep showing up. You don't have to figure it out today. Just take the next step that you find is a right step. And once again, I am grateful for this opportunity to speak with you. I really wish this was an opportunity. I mean, we're using a platform where I could ask everybody to unmute and do a particular exercise with me. Now, there's a song that passes my final words across to you. And the song is, the nations are waiting, the people are hungry, oh. The master is in need of vessels, so I pledge my allegiance to the one who has called me, oh. I'll make Jesus proud, will be many, oh. A handful of us know that song. But if you study the lyrics of that song, he goes to say that the world is waiting for your manifestation. There are generations that are dependent on you finding clarity today. So ensure that you join the number of people who are doing one thing today, who are taking that right step today that sets them on the path of solving the problems of people, living for a divine cause, living for a divine assignment. No matter your religion, no matter your faith, no matter your values, living for a divine assignment, living for purpose, living for all that God has called you to be. Do something today. Take that right step today, and you will find that 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 1 year, 2 years, three, you will look back without regret, and you will be happy that you made God proud by that step that you took today. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I do hope that you found value from me. Thank you so much, Balkis, for this opportunity. I once again am very, very grateful. So my last slide was actually introducing you to an opportunity where you can sign up for a 4 weeks career clarity program that I'm organizing. It is starting in June. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll speak a lot more about it. And then if you click the link in my bio on LinkedIn, you see a free career branding kit. So that contains a lot more details about some of the things that I've talked about here today. So if there are any questions and I can be given time to answer that, I sincerely appreciate. Thank you so much. And I love you guys. Thank you. It's Balkis. I'm done with my session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much. Again, that was a very insightful session, to be honest. I love the fact that you started with the story and you showed all the ways that you had to go through to get to this point. And so I'm sure that when people heard the green career advisors, like, oh my God, this person is funny so cool. Before we got to that point, I'm sure it was a lot. And you actually explained a lot that happened in a lot. Thank you so much for taking the time to put this together and also being one of them. I'm very honored to add this today, and I'm sure that if we add any questions, we'll have that in the chat. There are no questions. But if we find any after the session, we are going to reach out to you to check them out. But then I want to say very big thank you. I picked quite a number of assess where you are right now and align your skills and the skills. It was a really insightful session. 9 slides, very key topics and very key stories that shape a number of things in my life. I want to say thank you. And on behalf of the team and everybody who took the time to join in. Can you please mute your mic?
Okay.
All right. Okay. okay. So we realized that the audio was echoing. So I wanted to know what the problem was. But on behalf of every single person who is here today, who catch the live session and who is also going to catch up with the replay, we say a very big thank you. And please, if you have a flyer for the 4 weeks career camp and and all of that, please send it to us so we can also share with the community members and they get to see the much more that we are capable of giving to them through what you have put together. But on behalf of every single person, I want to say thank you, and I want to say thank you again. And personally, I am going to say my thank you again in your DM. But until the next time we have something amazing to bring your expertise here to speak about, we are grateful for having you. Thank you so much, Favour.
I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so, so much once again.
Thank you. All right, do enjoy the rest of your evening, and we are taking you off the screen now. All right, people, we have finally completed day 7. We've done 7 of 15, and I am super, super, super excited. So, guys, what have you learned today? What stood out for you? What are you going to do going forward? Do not make this another session where you talk, 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 but make sure it is that one that you do something going forward. And until tomorrow, 5:30 p.m., same place, same time. I remain Balkis Samzat, and on behalf of all of the people who made or who is making Valuemast Global what it is today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.